Welcome fight fans to my channel. This is Johnny, and today we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning an upcoming blockbuster clash at lightweight between Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. All right, fight fans, do you remember when you were younger and you liked somebody? Maybe it was a girl, maybe it was a guy, and you didn't know if you were official. And to keep it as innocent as possible, I remember for me growing up in grade school, when we started holding hands, I got to tell all my buddies, hey, me and so-and-so are official. Now, fast forward to this video, the holding hands metaphor in my life is box rec. We hear a lot of rumors all the time about potential fights, potential clashes. I'll then check the internet. Even fighters will share promotional posters. Think about what Edgar Berlanga just did after the Canelo fight. He shared a poster of him fighting Canelo in September, but we know that's not official. What I do in these instances, I go to BoxRec and I check it out. And when I finally wake up sometimes and I see that specific fighters finally have a fight officially announced in BoxRec, I'm like, okay, I could start planning videos, I could start planning maybe traveling to the fight. And this morning, I woke up to the news that Shakur Stevenson is officially fighting Artem Harutyan for his 135-pound strap. The reason why I'm doing this video though is because we already know Gervonta Davis has a huge fight coming up against Frank Martin for his belt at 135. So it had me thinking, with all of these big fights being announced, with the trash talk going back and forth between Tank and Shakur for a while now, and these guys used to be friends. It seems like only bad blood now, and it almost seems that it's inevitable that these two will match up one day in the ring. And what better matchup if both stay undefeated? And you have to think, it's soon to be on the horizon. Tank beats Frank, Shakur beats Harutyan. Shakur versus Tank, blockbuster fight. So today let's break down a little bit about what Tank has been up to, what Shakur has been up to, who they've been fighting, and see how these fighters match up. We'll start with Shakur Stevenson. Shakur is 21-0 with 10 knockouts. He is currently ranked the #1 lightweight in the world. He has the WBC World Lightweight title. The 26-year-old American is a southpaw and standing at 5'8". He has a 68-inch reach. His last few fights, Edward De Los Santos was 16-1, UD in the 12th. Yoshina 16-0, knockout in the 6th. Robinson Conceição 17-1, UD in the 12th. Oscar Valdez 30-0, UD in the 12th. Jamal Herring 23-2, knockout in the 10th. And guys, we know Shakur Stevenson has all the skills. We know about his positive boxing abilities, how slick of a southpaw he is, but we also know that lately, a lot of his fans have turned on him. A lot of the boxing community has turned on him for how he went about his business against Edwin De Los Santos. The social media firestorm has been all around him since then. He's retired, unretired, but we knew at 26 years old, he wasn't really retired, he was just frustrated. But all it takes is one great performance to turn all that around. And Shakur's undefeated, he's never lost before. He goes in against Harutyan and has an amazing performance. He's probably gonna go for the knockout and all those naysayers will come right back around. So much so, ESPN released their updated top 10 pound for pound rankings, and guess who reappears? Shakur Stevenson. I should also mention before we move on, Harutyan's only loss to this day, the guy who's fighting Shakur, was to Frank Martin, the guy who's fighting Tank Davis. And on that note, let's take a little closer look and see what Gervonta has been up to. Gervonta Davis is 29-0 with 27 knockouts. That gives him a shiny 93% knockout to win ratio. Because he hasn't fought in over a year, the way the BoxRec rankings work, it's been 14 months since that Ryan Garcia fight, so he's listed as inactive in the world lightweight standings. We know he's active though. He does currently have the WBA World Lightweight title. The American is also a southpaw, standing at 5'5" with a 67-inch reach. He is taking on Frank Martin next month. Frank is undefeated, 18-0. Ryan Garcia 14 months ago, 23-0, knockout in the 7th. Hector Garcia 16-0, knockout in the 9th. Rolly Romero 14-0, knockout in the 6th. Pitbull Cruz 22-1, UD in the 12th. Mario Barrios 26-0, knockout in the 11th. And we know what Tank wants to do. We know that he could box you, but he could also bully you. And this is why over the course of his pro career, he has garnered international fandom because what he brings to the table within the ring. He really enjoys also taking the O from his opponents. We talked about this. He not only wants to fight undefeated fighters, he wants to knock them out. Over his most recent fights, the only guy he wasn't able to get out of there via knockout is a current champion, Pitbull Cruz. So when you match up Tank and Shakur, when I look at the logistics of this fight, you have to talk about their height. Shakur will have the height advantage. He's 5'8", Tank's about 5'5", listed at 5'5.5". Shakur will also have the reach. They're both southpaws, so boxing fans are really looking forward to this because they go about their business a bit differently. Shakur wants to box you, get in, jab, get out, circle away from the power. Tank wants to get in and shut the lights off. So the story and narrative of this fight will be, does Tank have the feet to catch Shakur? Does Shakur have the skills to not get knocked out? And can he beat Tank in a decision? Because you'd have to think, when this fight ends, it's either Tank winning by knockout or Shakur winning by decision. I don't have these answers. I'm not doing videos to predict who I want to see win the fight. I come from a neutral perspective. I leave those predictions up to you. If this were to go down, if Tank beats Frank, Shakur beats Harutnian, and these two fight, who you going with? Shakur Stevenson or Tank Davis? Let me know in the comment section below.